Hi YouTube. Today I have a Kia Picanto 1.0 natural aspirated 5-door. I'm gonna put some outdoor shots for you to see. It's a city car, so we're in the city, but we're gonna drive it a bit on a back road, see how the car accelerates. One of the things with these cars is that in the old times when you had a 1.0 liter car, you could barely drive it on the highway. Now this car has 68 horsepower, but it can accelerate. But it's mainly a city car. I've driven other city cars as well. You can see in other videos of mine. 1.0s, Fiat Panda was 0.9, I think. The Volkswagen Up, Toyota Aygo, it's all in the same category. This I think has a little more space. I'll do a small comparison. It has windows for electric windows in the back, whereas the Toyota Aygo, you can see here on the front, doesn't. It's nice that you have a small car in the city, you can move around. The one other thing that I kind of like with this car is that it has integrated in the starting screen and the multimedia screen here. You can see the map. You can have your phone, but you can see the map even without putting a specific destination. I don't know if you can see it right now. So one thing is this. Here we have a stop sign. Now, the other thing you have to mention about this car is that although another good thing, each time you start up the engine, it resets to 0, so you know how much fuel consumption you're doing, how far you traveled. And here we can see that initially we have 7.2 liters. This will drop down to 5 as we drive more. However, compared to other small cars, I would say the consumption is a little bit higher. Not too much, but a little bit higher. Especially if you push the car in the highway, it can have a little bit slightly bigger consumption. The room in the back is quite nice. Here again, it's a small car. The other thing, it has a camera here, and you can disengage the start-stop function down here, which I have already done. You can disengage the lane assist, but the traffic sign, the speed signs, and lanes, they're all the time they're on, which can be a bit annoying, but it can be also helpful when you're driving on the highway. It can assist you quite good, I would say. If we're like third gear, have the lowered it 60, we have already passed 50. So again, it does this. We cannot disengage that, whereas in my Audi you can disengage. You still have the flashing light, but you don't have the sound for this. Again, small city car, nice turn radius, The wheel is okay. It has a lot of buttons for it. It has cruise control. You can control the radio from this side here. It has the mode where you can. There's a mode. Nope. Oh, this thing here. You have a compass, the lane assist, so on and so forth. Let's not use the compass. I don't think we need the compass here. One other thing I should mention here is, if we do this now, yeah, the gear is not set. So putting it in reverse, it's a bit of a hassle. The car has only 70,000 kilometers or 10,000 miles. So that's one of the downsides. I don't know if it's just this car or generally with Picantos. However, with all the others, I go up, and Panda never had the issue put in reverse. Okay, it's not the best gearbox. Again, it's a city car, but there is a slight problem with the reverse. I will mention that when I return the car, because it's a rental car. Perhaps it's the way it was being used by previous users. Let's put it again. Again, he has reset it as we shut off the car and restarted it. Another thing is that it gets some time to get up to temperature, although now it is up to temperature because I did some errands here and there. Radio is okay, more or less. Will not use it. Again, we had this beeping sound. It's for the speed. It recognized 50 kilometers, but now it does not recognize any speed again. But it has the sign that there are probably kids playing around. We're in a city area still. Now to recognize 90. Of course, we're not in a 90 zone, but perhaps it gets a bit some mistakes here and there. But again, if it sees the sign, it saw it's on the stop sign, it recognized the stop sign, so that's a good thing. Again, here, because it does not see a sign, it recognizes 90. Of course, we're not in the 90 zone. But when we go somewhere with lanes and other things, it will recognize it, which is one of the good things of this car. Again, the thing that I mentioned in the beginning is the fact that with this car you can go on the highway up to 120, up to speed limits, and perfectly fine. Whereas in the old times it was kind of a hassle to go through the gears. Now we're in fourth gear. One other thing is it has a digital screen here, what's expected from newer cars, but I don't like the fact that RPMs are 2.9. it's 3,003 something. It was, you get used to it through time, but again, I don't really like it. It gives you indicator to push to the higher gear. Of course, we're traveling slow, so I will not put more than have fourth gear now with 60 kilometers. Suspension is medium and not very soft, but you can feel the bumps in the road and stuff like that. also like the fact that it has nice side mirrors. And you can see we could overtake someone. We are up to 90 kilometers on the back road. And as we crossed the two lanes again, started flashing. Let's keep the speed down. And again, our fuel consumption went up 7.6. However, having said that, you can see that the car can accelerate. Now we're uphill, 4th gear, 80 kilometers. The car again, I'm not flooring it, but I am applying gas on it. That's about it. I like the fact that it has nice big side mirrors. Again, you can you cannot fold them. You can fold them manually, but you can adjust them electrically. Here, of course, it has AC. Now the good thing, it has both Type C and USB and 12 volt. Has a place for your phone. All the motor conveniences of a city car. It has cup holders here, cup holder in the back. Here